guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. How you guys doing? I hope you enjoyed the last weekend if you're watching this video in real time or anywhere close to the upload date. Last weekend of summer, I think, right? Is it? I think it's the last weekend of summer, at least here in North America. I don't know. Anyway, guys, hopefully you're enjoying it. Enjoy your weekends out there. Today we're going to talk about a champion with 2.2, along with the Artifact Forge and all that good stuff. We also received advanced quests, and we also received a big champion rebalancing. I gave my opinion on, I think, the top 10 as I saw it, most, I don't know, controversial or talked about changes in a video that I'll link for you guys in the description below. However, one champion that I am actually really happy with what they did with is kind of a joke, a meme of a legendary champion who was available in a fusion a few months ago, Gurptuk Moss-Beard. Now listen, man, this champion sucked, really sucked. The question that I want to pose to you guys today is this buff enough? I'm going to show you him in action, and I actually think that he's now viable. He already was viable, teamed with a very specific kind of end game team. He was actually one of the fastest speedrunner champions in the game, along with Xavier. We're not going to show that in today's video. I want to show him how you can kind of practically use him if you don't have god tier gear, god tier champions on every single, every single champion in the game, essentially. So let's go over his kit really quickly, guys, and go over what changed. Why is he better now? So on the biotic staff, attacks one enemy 2 times, has a continuous heal on all allies under poison. Very helpful because we want to make sure there's a certain level of sustainability in his kit because he's going to be doing a lot of damage to your champions as well. On Druidic Boon, removes all debuffs except poison. They added that in. It used to remove poison, which didn't make any sense. Remove all debuffs except poison debuffs from an ally, and then heals them by 30% of their max HP, and places a shield buff equal to 20% of their max HP for 2 turns on a 2-turn cooldown when booked, 3 turns if not. Cloud of Spores, this is his big kind of ability, right? I guess his passive is his big ability, but we'll get to that in a second. Places 3 2.5% poison debuffs on all allies for 3 turns. These buffs cannot be resisted, cannot be blocked. Also has a 80 or 100% chance when booked of placing a block buffs debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. So Cloud of Spores has the block buffs, that's okay, cool, but really it's about the 3 poisons on all of your allies, okay? We learned from the previous iteration of Gurptuk Moss-Beard that 5% poison, it used to be 5% poison debuffs on all allies. Now it's half of that. 5% poison, 3 of them on all allies for 3 turns, that stacks quickly and it kills your champions really quickly. Very tough to build a team around Gurptuk when he was doing that much damage on the strong version of poison. Now it's the weak version of poison, and let me tell you, it's a big difference maker when it comes to keeping your champions alive on a Gurptuk team. Symbiosis is his passive. Allies under poison debuffs inflict 7.5% more damage for each poison debuff on them, stacking to 30%. This damage increase applies to all of their skills, also increases their resist for each poison debuff on them. So my idea was the following. Let's take Gurptuk out. Let's dust him out, dust him off. I actually wasted some legendary, not wasted, but all right. I used, Freudian slip there. I used some legendary books on Gurptuk in preparation for this video. My very hard to get legendary books. I was very skeptical. I'm like, dude, am I gonna waste these legendary books, like I said earlier, for this video? Is this gonna be a big mistake? And I have to say that I don't think it is. I think I'm actually gonna run this champion, at least in Dragon's Lair, because he can consistently win. I ran this 30 times, 40 times last night. Never lost one battle. And A. In B, it's a pretty fast time. I don't need to be super fast. Who cares? In C, I think that it is, he's a pretty cool champion. He's cool when paired with champions that do a lot of damage, right? Like Cold Hearts and Royal Guards, Husks, champions that Septimuses, champions that do damage based on enemy max HP, because it's really that extra 30% or 7.5% per poison is really going to stack well, and it's going to change a million a damage attack from Cold Heart to 1.3 million damage or more. So really cool, or less. So really cool champion overall now. And I think that to help keep your champions alive, he has a pretty nice base HP at 18k, almost 19k HP. So I thought to myself, you know what? I don't need him to do any damage. He doesn't have damage dealing abilities, just his A1, I think, right? One enemy 2 times, and that's it. So I don't care about his damage, man. I haven't even changed his master race. He does have War Master on him, so that will help you out for his damage against bosses. But other than that, man, who cares, right? I don't need anything. So I decided to put him in a shield set and just put him in HP gauntlets. Like, I didn't have that many pairs on my account, but I went with an HP gauntlet. I didn't even worry too much about his accuracy. I think I have an accuracy banner on him. But I just went with HP. I should change this ring out for an HP ring, but I guess not bad, right? With the HP roll on it. Do I have anything I can add to him? I'll just add that HP. So what I thought to myself was, give him an HP chest, give him an HP percentage on the gauntlets, put him in speed boots because he does need to go fast to make sure you're getting the, some spot heals with the druidic boon, and to make sure you're adding those poisons onto your teammates every round, right? So I wanted to put speed boots on this champion, but, he ended, again, where'd he go? He ended things off with a decent amount of health, 56k. So that's going to be a really solid shield on my team. He's going to be staying alive. His defense is fine at 3k. And let's see what he can do. What do I have on a defense? Man. So I should change this out for an HP. Let me just see if I have one leveled up here real quick. I don't think I do. Oh, I do. So a level 9. I think I'm just going to go with it. I'd rather have the HP than the defense, honestly. I'm going to take it up to level 12 right now, and then I'll take it up to level 16 later. That will make a nice impact for you guys. So I'm going to run him right now for you guys. You can run this champion in Clan Boss, provided, again, you have the sustainability on this champion. It's difficult, right? Because, with these poisons, you have to be very, very careful of killing your team, right? So I prefer him in dungeons, specifically Fire Knight. He has a 2-hitter on his A1, and in Dragon's Lair, because of the affinity matchups, negative in Ice Golem and Spiders on level 20 dungeons at least. If you're not in level 20 dungeons, I would actually use him pretty much anywhere. So I think this is actually a really substantial buff, and we'll see him in action here, guys. So I have this team kind of assembled. I could make it way faster and way more OP. I could put Dracomorph in there, or Zargala in there instead of War Maiden. I could take out Syl the Drakes and add, a better support champion. Actually, Syl is pretty solid in this team because, again, her heals and her stuns are going to help keep everybody alive. But it could add like a Septimist or whatever, right? You can make this even better of a more OP crazy team. But I wanted to pick something somewhat realistic. Obviously, Syl the Drakes is a daily login reward, and then Cold Heart and War Maiden are rares. And I like the max HP of Royal Guard on this team. I think that's a nice synergy with Gurptuck. So let's go ahead and see what we're talking about here. He's a fun champion. I think he's fun, I think that he was such a bad champion and a weird, unorthodox champion for a long time that I think that people were just mostly disappointed that he was a fusion. Like, what a crappy legendary fusion to get in the game. But now I actually think that he's viable, right? You just have to make sure you build the support around him. And him in a shield set, again, it's really going to mitigate those poisons. It's going to help you out a ton, right? So I would recommend you do exactly what I did. HP on the gauntlets, percentage, HP percentage on the chest, speed on the boots, and then HP wherever you can get it in a shield set, right? That's going to make sure you keep your team alive. If you have a Gorgorab, a Reliquary Tender, a Syl of the Drakes, a Reviver on your team in case you lose Cold Heart, which sometimes happen on the second round right here, like on that hit, she could have died. Having a Reviver on the team is going to help you as well. But the shield is so nice. Again, that's what really makes him useful. And this is going to be a consistent, again, 100% win rate. Unfortunately, the Heartseeker ability just went off without the poisons on her. You want those poisons to be on Royal Guard and Cold Heart before they go. Now they'll be able to go. Royal Guard will be able to get that takedown ability off soon. And again, very fast runs, successful runs. And when we get to the dragon, it only takes really 20-30 seconds to kill the dragon on a team like this. And I think we'll have the abilities up in just his takedowns down. 500,000. He was hitting for, higher damage previously, but Heartseeker gets a weak hit. How do we get a weak hit on Heartseeker? That should have been done right there. Either way, guys, a minute and 40 seconds, a minute and 45 seconds, and this one will be over. This is actually the longest run, I kid you not, of all the runs that I had in testing. I think it's because of that weak Cold Heart hit. That should have been over at about $1.30. But either way, guys, I will take it into Fire Knight here. I'm just going to replay it one more time. whatever, you can fast forward, a minute and 30 seconds if you don't care. But that was a really bad showing. I would cut it, but I don't like cutting matches because I feel like it's kind of lame. I want to show a real life indication of what happens in these battles, and sometimes things don't always go right. But again, if you have a Zargala, put her in for War Maiden. I just wanted to pick like a free-to-play option there for a debuffer. Important to have a debuffer still on your team, obviously. And I think that it's a really kind of nice synergy between not just these champions. Have one CC healer in there, have one reviver in your team, have at least one damage based on enemy max HP, and I think you guys will be good to go. They're just that extra, 23% damage, or if you can get even more poison stacked onto your champions, it really makes a big difference. The question is are you better off putting in just a random other champion instead of Gurptuck, who you don't need to worry about all the poisons. You don't need to worry about all those keeping your champions alive and all that stuff when you kill the dragon faster? Well, I want to go ahead and show you that right now. So hopefully in about 10-15 seconds, I want to go ahead and just sub in some of the most OP champions I have on my account and see if I can make a faster or more successful run on this same team instead of Gurptuck. So I probably won't show you the entire runs. I'll just show you the beginning and the end, and we'll try like with 2 champions just to kind of, how can you know unless you test it out, right? And so what I'm looking for is the success rate. Was it did we end with all of our champions really healthy? And I'm also looking to see the time, right? Just to see how effective, the team is in terms of total damage. So 1 minute and 40 there, not too bad. And Royal Guard put out 2 million damage. War Maiden 700,000, Cold Heart 1 million damage. So let's go ahead and edit this team. Let's try, instead of Gurptuck, let's just kind of go down the row here. Let's start with, we'll try Draco, but let me put in like a biggin, like a nice AoE nuker first, and then we'll kind of go from there. So I'll do 3 runs. I'll try like biggin, I'll try Dracomorph, and I'll try like Razin. Those will be the 3 champions because of the affinity matchup as well. Those are the 3 champions that I will try. So I'll come back at you guys at the end of all these runs and we can kind of compare the times. Hey guys, so with Biggin on the same team, 1 minute and 48. So again, comparatively, pretty similar, maybe a little bit slower, but I will tell you that we lost Cold Heart a couple times, but granted, that's because we were lacking that shield set, so Scylla the Drakes had to revive Cold Heart 2 times. I thought Bad L too. Why don't we try it with Bad L? Because Bad L is just a monster in Dragons. So we'll do it with Bad L. Be right back. All right, guys, so here we are with Bad L. 1 minute 42, 1 minute 43. And again here, the team is staying somewhat healthy thanks to the continuous heals of Bad L, but 1 minute and 49 seconds. So again, I mean, the proof is in the pudding, right? On this team, all of these champions, Biggin, Bad L, and Gurptuck, are all in pretty solid gear. I would say actually Bad L and Biggin probably in a little bit better gear than Gurptuck. So yeah, I mean, the fact that he's holding his own time-wise, run-wise, compared to these other great legendary champions, tells me that he's actually pretty viable. I'll do one more because it's not taking you guys much time anyway. Let's try it with Dracomorph. I assume, well, I can't. Yeah, I'll try it with, I'll try it with Kymar because, Dracomorph and War Maiden are both kind of the debuffers. So let's put him with kind of a poisoner who can also refresh the cooldowns on Cold Heart and Royal Guard. Again, I will be right back. All right, guys, so 1 minute and 18. So with Prince Kymar, it actually takes the cake. Definitely, again, the Seal of Magic instantly refreshing the cooldowns of Takedown and Heartseeker is going to be the fastest score. But still, nice to kind of see them all comparatively. We're talking about a matter of seconds. For me, it's more important to be consistent than to have the fastest time. And certainly, I feel like Kymar and Gurptuck were actually the best options out of the 4 that we tried there. Granted, that's just one team, and it's not a big sample size. So I don't want you guys to read too much into not just this, but any YouTube video that you see. You have to definitely take into consideration everything. So here for Fire Knight, I want to try him in this team. Double Cold Heart, Stag Knight, and Lysandra in the lead for the speed aura and the exhaustion ability. And then we'll kind of end out the video, but I want to throw the question to you guys. What do you think? Is Gurptuck viable to you guys? Have you seen enough to say, oh, I fused him, never used him because he sucks, or he sucked. and now I'm going to give him a try? Or is he still a niche champion that you have to kind of build a perfect team around? Or is it necessary that you have to have a shield set? You can see, for example, Coldheart probably would have died right there on the first wave of Fire Knight had Gurptuck, excuse me, not been in the shield set, right? So, you know, take that into consideration. We're not seeing lightning fast runs on the waves here, and the reason behind that is because, well, first of all, the team composition, but the second reason is because, you know, Gurptuck shines when you get to the boss, because he's better when all your damage dealers have those poisons on them throughout the duration of the 3 rounds that the poisons last, or when they stack even more than 3 poisons, right? So again here, we'll get to the Fire Knight in probably around a minute and 3 seconds or so, minute and 5 seconds, let's see. And then when we get to the Fire Knight again, as soon as that shield is down, and while we're chipping away the shield, we'll be stacking those poisons up on all my damage dealers. So by the time that shield comes down, hopefully we'll have at least 3 poisons on my 2 cold hearts, and then it will be a very, very quick battle from there. So let's see. And there's the 3 poisons already. Perfect. So it looks like this is going to be a super, super fast run. And again, pretty efficient run with the shield set on Gurptuck. I don't think it's necessary that you have the shield set on Gurptuck, but why not, right? I mean, you're not looking for him to do any damage for you. So what is there? You don't have to build him with 100% crit rate. He only has 1 attack on his kit anyway. To me, he's the perfect champion because of his kit. He's the perfect champion to go ahead and throw a shield set on. He'll keep your team alive despite his poisons and just really help you out and help your damage dealers put out more damage, right? So there we go, a minute 52, not too bad, and again, a pretty consistent run with a champion like this, Gurptuk Moss-Beard. Again, guys, let me know in the comments below. Is this buff, to me, it was bigger than expected. To me, I am kind of excited about this champion. I think that he's definitely a viable champion to build a team around. That's my opinion. I'd love to hear yours in the comments below, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content here on the channel, I invite you to subscribe. And as always, take care, guys.